The U.S. economy. 42 interesting facts you didn't know about the U.S. economy. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will delve behind the scenes of the United States economy, one of the world's largest and most dynamic economies. These 42 points will not only provide numbers but also deeply explore what these figures mean. If you're ready, let's begin. GDP size. The U.S. GDP, gross domestic product, approaching $28 trillion, is not just a number. This colossal figure demonstrates the country's dominant production, consumption, and investment power on a global scale. This magnitude is the primary reason why the U.S. is referred to as the locomotive of the global economy. Service sector dominance. The service sector, which constitutes 80% of the U.S. economy, encompasses areas like finance, healthcare, technology, and entertainment. This is the strongest evidence that the economy has transformed from traditional sectors like industry and agriculture to an information and service-based structure. California's magnitude. If California were considered a country on its own, it would be the world's fifth largest economy. Giant sectors like technology, Silicon Valley, entertainment, Hollywood, and agriculture, Central Valley, make the state an economic superpower. Wealth distribution. The fact that the richest 1% own approximately 35% of the country's total wealth highlights the extent of income inequality in the U.S. This situation is at the center of social and political debates. National debt. The national debt exceeding $35 trillion means a burden of approximately $100,000 on the shoulders of every American citizen. This debt continuously increases with expenditures on areas like infrastructure projects, defense, and social security. Minimum wage disparities. Although the federal minimum wage is $7.25, in places like New York City, this figure can exceed $16. These differences show how variable the cost of living is between states. Oil production. The U.S. has surpassed Saudi Arabia and Russia to become the world's largest oil producer. While this strengthens the country's energy independence, its continued status as the largest consumer increases its impact on the global energy market. Trade balance. The U.S.'s trade with China reflects the complex economic relationship between the two countries. The U.S. incurs a large trade deficit by importing more goods from China. Low unemployment rate. In recent years, the unemployment rate has hovered below 4%. This indicates a healthy economy and a market where employers struggle to find workers. Tech giants. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are not only the most valuable companies in the U.S. economy but also in the global economy. They also hold the largest share in stock markets. The dollar's global power. The U.S. dollar is the fundamental currency of world trade and finance. This provides the U.S. with unique power regarding monetary policies. Household incomes. Although the average household income is around $74,580, this figure varies greatly depending on states, professions, and education levels. Healthcare expenditures. Healthcare expenditures, which constitute 13% of the GDP, are one of the biggest problems in the U.S. High costs, the insurance system, and medical bills resulting in bankruptcies are at the heart of discussions. Stock market size. The total value of U.S. stock markets is greater than the total of all other stock markets in the world. This demonstrates global investors' confidence in U.S. markets. Medical bill bankruptcies. A significant portion of those who declare bankruptcy in the U.S. are individuals unable to cover high medical expenses. This situation highlights structural problems in the healthcare system. Agriculture's strength. Although its share in GDP is small, U.S. agricultural exports, corn, soybeans, wheat, are vital for global food security. Emergency preparedness. Most Americans cannot cover an emergency expense of $400. This indicates households' financial fragility and low savings rates. Inflation. Rising inflation in recent years has reduced Americans' purchasing power and led the Fed to raise interest rates. Small businesses. There are over 32.5 million small businesses in the country. These businesses provide a large portion of employment and are considered the engine of economic growth. Per capita spending. Americans' annual average spending of $50,000 makes the U.S. the world's largest consumer market. Federal Reserve, Fed. The Fed aims to control inflation by setting interest rates and plays a key role in ensuring economic stability. Defense spending. U.S. military spending is more than 3 times that of China, the world's second largest military power. NYSE. The New York Stock Exchange, with a market capitalization of $28.5 trillion, is the world's largest stock exchange. The richest 400. The wealth of the 400 richest Americans surpasses the total wealth of half of the U.S. population. E-commerce. 15% of retail sales occur through e-commerce. Companies like Amazon and Walmart are leaders in this field. Stock market participation. 44% of Americans invest in the stock market. Workforce education level. Over 70% of the workforce has at least a bachelor's degree. Job deals. Over 1 billion job deals are signed in the U.S. each year. This is an indicator of how dynamic the business world is. Robotic technology. The use of robots in the manufacturing industry is rapidly increasing, which boosts production efficiency but may lead to unemployment in some professions. GDP growth rate. A growth rate of 2 to 3% indicates that the U.S. economy is steadily growing. Energy consumption. U.S. energy consumption accounts for approximately 16% of the world's total energy consumption. Consumer spending. Annual consumer spending of $10 trillion indicates that the U.S. economy is consumption-based. The role of technology. Technology plays a critical role in the growth of the U.S. economy. Innovation creates new job opportunities and increases productivity. Innovation and the birth of new sectors. The most fundamental effect of technology is its ability to create entirely new industries from scratch. Silicon Valley is the most prominent example of this phenomenon. This region, which housed a handful of tech companies in the 1970s, is now home to billion-dollar giants and thousands of startups. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. These technologies are fundamentally transforming sectors such as healthcare, finance, and retail. For example, AI-powered diagnostic tools enable early detection of diseases, while algorithmic trading platforms are revolutionizing financial markets. Biotechnology and genetics. Advancements in areas like gene editing, CRISPR, and personalized medicine are transforming not only the healthcare sector but also fields like agriculture and environmental management. Software and hardware. Technologies such as the internet, smartphones, and cloud computing have democratized access to information, leading to the emergence of new business models, e.g., sharing economy companies like Uber and Airbnb. Productivity gains and competitiveness. Technology automates business processes in existing sectors, thereby increasing efficiency and productivity. This enables U.S. companies to be more competitive in the global market. Automation and robotics. The use of robots on production lines reduces error rates while increasing production speed. Automation systems used in logistics and retail optimize the supply chain, reducing costs. Big data and analytics. Companies analyze customer behavior to offer more personalized services, optimize inventory management, and make marketing strategies more effective. This reduces waste and increases profit margins. Communication and collaboration tools. Remote work platforms and cloud-based software facilitate companies forming teams and collaborating across geographical boundaries. This increases operational flexibility and expands access to a skilled workforce, creating new job opportunities. While the automation of some jobs by technology causes concern, technology also creates entirely new roles and occupations. Software developers and data scientists. Demand for experts in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity is rapidly increasing. These roles are high-paying and contribute significantly to the economy. Digital marketing and e-commerce specialists. Companies need talent in this area to market their products on digital platforms. Robotics engineers and technicians. The installation, maintenance, and repair of automation systems require new expertise. Content creators and social media managers. With the proliferation of digital platforms, entirely new occupations such as the influencer economy and content creation have emerged. In conclusion, technology not only grows the U.S. economy but also transforms it into a more resilient, flexible, and innovative structure. This technological superiority and continuous innovation play a huge role in the U.S. maintaining its global leadership. Real estate market. The U.S. real estate market is one of the largest in the world. Home prices, interest rates, and the construction sector are important economic indicators. Self-employed individuals. 12 out of every 100 Americans are self-employed. Financial crises. The 2008 financial crisis was one of the biggest crises faced by the U.S. economy in the last century. Top 100 companies. The top 100 American companies represent 25% of the global economy. Exports: aircraft, petroleum products, and automobiles are among the largest U.S. export items. Automotive sector: the automotive sector provides employment for millions of people. Youth poverty: 18% of young people under the age of 20 in the U.S. live below the poverty line. Inflation target: the Fed's 2% inflation target aims to ensure price stability. Banking sector: the fact that the 5 largest banks hold 40% of banking assets demonstrates the concentration in the sector. I hope this detailed list has provided a more comprehensive perspective on the U.S. economy. Understanding the complexity of an economy of this size also helps us interpret global events. Which fact surprised you the most? What's the situation like in your country? Don't forget to share in the comments. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.